This grey and purple mecha, the Purge 01, has always fascinated me with its alien sci-fi look, and it is even more unique compared to other mechas line I tried. So when I found it on sale I took my chance, because you know, cool mechas are great, but with a cheaper price they are even cooler. Let's see if it was worth the price. It is a big boy, an intermediate size between the classic 125 and the 118 lines. The transparent plastic clamshell is the same as we already seen for the iron breakers and steel bonds. Fear mechas use foam instead, for example. Again, two separate blocks, one for the main body and the other for the accessories. Let's lift the cover and extract this big metal beast. And I am pretty happy that almost pieces stick to the body during the journey. It is not always the case. It has slender appearance, not chunky but with many details, flaps, inserts and those angry eyes for the head slit. Great color combination, too. I like it. We also have this small folded piece of paper with instructions about the steps for converting it from mecha to split mode. I personally got him for the mecha mode, but I'm curious about how the other mode will look like. It also includes a transparent stand for the spacecraft and other accessories to support the different modes. Nice rifles. Let's take a closer look. Head and torso are one single piece, giving it a hunched look. The red, grey and stained white are a nice color combination, I must say, and I love the weathered finishing for the entire figure. Despite this, the limbs are quite free of movement, so I expect it to have very good articulations. The armor plates are not excessive, contributing to the look, but without being of hindrance for the movement. Backside exposes what I think to be the engines, some kind of generators maybe, and finally the leg mechanisms. This Purge has the reversed knee, like a chicken with double joints. Diving deeper into articulations, the gondolas can move independently, allowing the shoulders to freely rotate around. Otherwise they block their movement because of these shoulder pauldrons. Shoulders, ankles, hips and knees have all ratcheted joints with a classic clack sound. Some of these small armor plates move around a little bit, but most of them are fixed. Hands articulations is pretty standard for all JOYTOY mechas. You have 4 fingers for hand that are independently articulated. They struggle a bit keeping their weapons aimed as you want, but you can make it work with a little bit of an effort. As I said, the legs have these reverse knees with double joints and they have a nice hip backward range for movement. Hip ratchets are great, even if pretty pointless, unless you want to emulate Van Damme again. Belly is covered by this soft plastic cover that simulates an armor plate. It hides the peg that allows for 360 degrees rotation and also to split the top from the bottom part. Feet are quite undersized in my opinion for the bulk of this mecha. It can still keep its posing pretty well, but I am more of a fan of mechs with big feet and larger legs. They look more solid to me. The ankles can move sideways, only front and back, which is a bit of a letdown, but it does not ruin the general stability in most poses. Overall, articulations are pretty good, even if the mecha is clearly top heavy, and even with ratcheted joints, this will make it difficult to balance it in certain positions. The only clear weapons, that is something that resemble real weapons, that I can see are these 2 big rifles that also have the same alien look. We also have 2 moving parts, perhaps for some stripes for attaching them. But there is nothing like that, so no stripes at all, no belts, and so we can only say that they look cool. They are identical and have a great weather paint and the same color palette for the rest of the mecha, so no complaints at all here. My favorite pose is the sneaky hunter one. Yeah, it is huge, but still wants to be sneaky. Of course, you can always make it dual wield both weapons, but I personally don't like it. I prefer the single rifle pose. The pilot is another 1/25 scale figure, very tiny but with many small details. A lot of people may probably appreciate these tiny soldiers, but I'm not really a big fan. They are too small for me to handle, and I like to pose the pilots outside their mechas anyway. The cockpit itself looks quite spacious, so the pilot could fit here just fine. The cloche has a lot of range forward and backward, so it is not really a problem to accommodate it. By the way, I really like his anger face. It looks very angry, almost evil I will say. Okay, getting to the combination warfare written in the box. What does it mean in practice? It means that you can detach the upper and bottom part of the mecha, creating a spacecraft and a walking tank. The central peg is a bit hard, so watch out when you pull it out. Grab the main body parts, not the arms or added tiny armor plates. After that you have two options, guns on the spacecraft or guns on the walking tank. The latter seems the best option, otherwise the walker part is unarmed, and since this is a sci-fi, you can do whatever you want, I guess, but it will be just a pair of legs going around. Arms are very easy to detach, and then you can attach the guns for 200% more firepower. If you instead decide to put the guns on the walker, then you have a small turret and then harness to plug the guns to. It is quite easy and the gun stays in place without problems. By itself it looks good, but I got this Purge 01 for the entire mecha, so having two half-good things is not my strategy. I said that the Purge 01 is bigger than normal 1/25 mechas, and this is quite evident when compared to the steel bonds. You can appreciate the different styles. The H06 and the H05 share a common pattern, while this Purge 01 is its own design. But what about the other big boys, like the Fear 5 and the Tyrant 02? Then you can here see the difference. It is smaller, but quite close. The Fear 5, of course, is a class of its own for overall bulkiness. Anyway, the Purge's slender alien look is quite peculiar. I like those different patterns among the mecha lines. Hopefully we will see more of them in the future. But would I advise to get him then? It is more expensive than Iron Breakers and Steel Bones, almost as expensive as the Tyrant 02, it depends on the store. So unless you have fallen in love with the design, just consider it on sale, or if you have a big discount, it is nice to have, not a must buy. Having said that, I can only wish you a nice rest of the day and remind you to like the video and subscribe to the channel.